Today is July 4th, or otherwise known to Americans, Independence Day, the day we celebrate the 13 colonies' decision to split from Great Britain and become the United States of America. The day we honor the Declaration of Independence, the historical document that acted as a goodbye Great Britain, explaining all our grievances and reasons for parting ways from the Crown. We've all celebrated this day for generations, with fireworks, cookouts, parties, and the like. Even our founding fathers recognized the importance of July 4th. For example, when John Adams wrote to his wife, quote, "The 4th day of July, 1776, will be the most memorable epoch in the history of America. I am apt to believe that it will be celebrated by succeeding generations as the great anniversary festival. It ought to be commemorated as the day of deliverance by solemn acts of devotion to God Almighty. It ought to be solemnized with pomp and parade, with shows, games, sports, guns, bells, bonfires, and illuminations, from one end of this continent to the other, from this time forward forevermore." End quote. Except, he didn't write exactly that. This letter was written on July 3rd, 1776, and opens with, "The 2nd day of July, 1776, will be the most memorable epoch in the history of America." What's going on here? Was this a typo? What's so special about July 2nd? We're all taught in school that July 4th is the day Continental Congress declared independence from Great Britain, and this has some truth to it. July 4th, 1776 is indeed the day Congress recognized the Declaration of Independence publicly, but it isn't the day we officially decided to become independent. It was 2 days before wherein Congress voted in favor of the motion for independence. This motion was made by member Richard Lee on June 7th, and 4 days later, on the 11th, Congress created the committee responsible for creating the Declaration. This includes the familiar faces of Thomas Jefferson, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, and Roger Sherman and Robert Livingston. So what? Independence Day celebrates the Declaration of Independence and its completion and signing, which all happened on July 4th, right? Not quite. The final draft of the Declaration of Independence was submitted to Congress on June 28th. It took Congress about a week to deliberate, agree on independence on July 2nd, and recognize the Declaration on July 4th, and of course then sign it, right? Everything but that last part. Contrary to popular belief, the Declaration was not signed on July 4th. Although Jefferson, Adams, and Franklin claim it was signed on July 4th, a couple of things go against this contention. For starters, the secret journals of Congress that were declassified in 1821 explain that on August 2nd, quote, "The Declaration, being engrossed and compared at the table, was signed by the members," end quote. Furthermore, the copy of the Declaration of Independence with all the signatures in it in the National Archives wasn't made until July 19th, 1776, so it couldn't have been signed the 4th. Those same secret journals of Congress have an entry on July 19th that reads, quote, "Resolved that the Declaration passed on the 4th be fairly engrossed on parchment with the title and style of the Unanimous Declaration of the 13 United States of America, and that the same when engrossed be signed by every member of Congress." A copy that everyone signed on August 2nd was transcribed by Colonel Timothy Matlack, who made copies of the original copy of the Declaration made by Thomas Jefferson. So, is our whole holiday a lie? A farce? A falsehood created by our government led by aliens to keep us sheeple, ignorant, and controlled in permanent bondage to hide the facade that falsely portrays this country as a free and independent nation of truth and justice for all? No, of course not. We celebrate July 4th because it's when we publicly declared independence from Great Britain. It's symbolic, just like the stars and stripes we wear and wave on this day. Sure, it isn't exactly when the Declaration was finished or signed, or even when we officially decided to declare independence, but it represents when we stood up to what we perceived as tyranny. These men were all committing treason when they declared this. If they failed, they would have all been hung, drawn and quartered, and the colonies would probably be in worse shape. Our celebration of July 4th represents and remembers our declaration of our rights to choose our government and to abolish the one that we do not see fit. It remembers the sacrifices these men made for their ideals. This whole process occurred over the course of about a year, and the Revolutionary War itself took 8 years. A good day to pick to celebrate our Declaration of Ideals is the one where we declared it to the world, including our oppressors, that we were becoming our own, independent. So, don't feel empty when you see those fireworks explode, or when you put up the red, white, and blue on the 4th of July, because even if it isn't entirely true, it has meaning. It's symbolic. Don't think of this as a historical misconception, or even a technicality. Think of it as the day we choose to celebrate our Founding Fathers' decision to let the world know we had become our own political entity. Or not. Think of it however you'd like, but let it be known that while historical accuracy is iffy, our 4th of July celebration represents how we remember our Declaration of Independence beyond what lies on the parchment paper, the decision our founders made to gain freedom. With that, I wish you good night and good luck.